Stop asking what I should do. The question isn't what to do, it's who is deciding.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear this every single week. What do you think I should do? And I get it. I get why we ask it. But every time we ask it, it does come at a cost.
Yeah. Giving that power away.
Just eroding that level of trust in ourselves each time.
It's the overthinking, the second guessing of yourself 24/7, waiting for reassurance, validation, always looking for that right answer, like somebody else outside of you knows what's best for you. How do I have the right answer for you? You know deep down what's right or wrong, because when somebody asks you the question, I instantly ask the question back.
I
What do
know.
you think I should do? And I'll say, well, what do you think you should do?
Yeah,
What
I
are the
believe
options?
when someone asks you, what should I do?
Yeah.
99% of the time they already know, but it's that lack of self-trust. They lack the courage of their conviction, but you know yourself enough and you can trust yourself enough to make those decisions without that external validation.
100%. And every time you ask, what should I do? You are instantly handing your power and your authority away. So it's time to stop doing it. And it's time to start full body, trusting your thoughts, your intuition, and your decision making, because it's your life, not mine, not Sarah's, and not anybody else's.
No. It's one of those ones where we could talk all day about how we get to that point, how
Mm,
as adults we lose autonomy and find it harder to make a decision for ourselves than we have done before. But it all goes back to those layers, that story we tell ourselves, the conditionings. We're the last of the be seen and not heard generation. The good girl, blah 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 blah. It all starts to add up. And then you may have made some wrong decisions and you think, oh, I can't be trusted to make these decisions by myself. Which is bollocks. I
yeah.
believe your bad decisions were bad for a reason. There's probably a lesson in there. And it is a mirror to kind of where you need to be doing the work.
Yeah. And if you're constantly making the same bad decisions, then you need to pull yourself out of the situation and look at it from an outsider's point of view and say, where do I keep making the same mistake? Like you say, so there's a lesson in there somewhere. So this isn't a case of let's start blaming myself, start coming down on myself with, negativity and saying I'm just shit and I can't do this. I can't trust myself. You can. We just need to assess the situation. Where did I go wrong last time? Okay, I can see it. It's here. What about the time before and the time before that? Yeah, and look at it as an outsider and evaluate the situation, then you can see it for what it is, and then you can change the way you make those decisions moving forward. But 9 times out of 10, your intuition is
Oh
screaming
my
at you.
God.
You don't listen to it. You're like, "Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no," because your mind's telling you one thing and your body's telling you something else. And we always go with the brain rather than the body. And we need to start flipping.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, like, you don't want to be wrong. You
I
don't
get that.
listen to that intuition and you don't want to be like, oh no, this isn't really going that well. I'll just push it down. It'll be all right. I'll ignore it. But ultimately, the longer you will ignore it, the bigger the price you pay. What's that saying about if you get on the wrong train, you just get off as soon as possible and get on the right train?
Oh, I did a reel about this. So basically, you're on the train and you're going in the wrong direction, and you can see that your stop's never arriving, and you suddenly realize that you've you're on the wrong fucking train. But I know if I just stay here and just keep moving forward, because I'm going somewhere,
I
and
might end
somewhere's
up where
better
I
than
need to
nowhere.
be.
Exactly that. But actually, if we just got off the fucking train and got on the right train as soon as we realised, we wouldn't waste all the time that we're sitting on the wrong train. And by just staying there, we're going to continue to waste and waste and waste.
We don't ever lose that inner voice, do we? That kind of intuition, gut feeling, that first, like,
Intuitive thought.
yeah, you ignore it, I think, like what we just said.
I think also some people actually struggle to understand what the difference is between what their intuition is and what is their ego. And when we talk about ego, I know lots of people think, oh, I'm not egotistical. It's not that. Ego is what lives in the brain. It's a thing that wants to keep us safe.
Yeah.
Intuition is the thing that is guiding you into the right direction that is right for you. Yeah, into that alignment where you should be heading. Yet because it's unfamiliar, we're kind of walking into the dark. Maybe it doesn't feel safe. Your body suddenly tenses up. Oh God, that's scary, or whatever it might be. Your brain, your ego will instantly say, oh, no, 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 that's not safe. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go back to making those same decisions like we've always made. Even though that's not right for us, it's just because it's how our brain is wired. So it's learning that intuition comes from the body, ego comes from the brain, and start to listen here rather than here, because this doesn't ever steer you wrong.
No, and there are loads of times where I should have listened to my intuition a
But there's lots
lot.
of reasons why we don't. For example, you might date somebody and you're getting on really well on this first date, and there's been a couple of red flags, but only small ones. So your intuition is instantly like, don't think this is the one for you. I think we should probably not waste our time. It's been a lovely date, but I'm not going to see him again. But the brain clicks in and go, hold on a minute. I'm a nice person. I like to give people a chance. He's not proven that he's a nasty person or whatever it might be. So our brain rationalize it of, no, I'm a nice person. I'll give this person a chance. I'll keep dating him, and then I'll know in the next date, or maybe even the third date. But at least I know I've given it a go, and then I can't regret it because he might be the one. But your intuition has already guided you to say, this isn't the one. And it's not saying he's going to do this, he's an asshole, he's this, he's that. It's just not for you, not this time. But we don't listen. And then sometimes we end up in relationships that we shouldn't have been in, and we're still there 2 years later, all by accident. And it's
I'm
fine.
laughing because I think like we have both had really big examples of this, and people will be listening going, all right, you two, who the fuck are you to tell us about relationships?
Okay.
Learn from our mistakes.
But it's the truth, though. It is true. And I'll give you an example that I actually went through in relationships, as we're on that example. That I was dating somebody who I really, really liked. He made me laugh every single day. We had a real good friendship, and something was just telling me he can't give me what I want. He just can't give it to me. This can't be a long-term thing. So, and like you say, I've been through different relationships and I've not listened. And in the end, I was just like, if I want what I truly believe I deserve, then I cannot stay in this relationship. It cannot happen. So I ended it. Didn't know if I was ever going to meet anybody, but I ended it. I rang in work, sick for a whole week. I truly mourned him. It was like he died. I was devastated. But my intuition was screaming at me, you know what you want from a relationship, and he is not it. And genuinely, I believe that's how I ended up meeting my husband, because I knew what I deserved. and what I wanted, so I held out and waited for him.
And what a good egg you've got now.
I know I have, and I'm very lucky.
Like, you proper yin and yang, aren't you? And it
Yeah,
works so
yeah,
well. Not
yeah,
jealous.
and he wasn't my normal type. He is the furthest away from my normal type, from all those years ago, and he's definitely 100% my person. Not perfect by any means, either of us, the relationship I mean, but we are perfect for one another. He might disagree, by the way, but hey,
This isn't just about relationships either.
no.
This applies to jobs, friendships, entities, moments, you know, hobby that you're interacting with, um,
Yeah, money, anything. Relationships with
anything.
family.
So what happens if we ignore it for a long time? Well,
What is the cost
what
of
is the
ignoring your
cost?
intuition?
Mm.
Because every decision we make, there's a cost behind it
Yeah, that
ourselves.
cost can be, wow, like there is no scale, is there? It can be as much as like losing 50 quid, or it can be more like monumental. Like,
Losing 3 years of your life in a relationship you wish you'd never entered. So, what is the cost of not trusting yourself? How does that feel in your body? When you're in a place where you constantly second guess how you feel, how you think, what you should or shouldn't be doing. It starts to show up as constant indecision, which can be frustrating. You can be frustrated with yourself. You can be frustrated with everybody around you. Resentment,
yeah, I think
anxiety.
the resentment when it's like relationship or career based is a real killer. That can really consume you. You start to then keep a score on everything, and it just creates that general friction, puts you in not a great place mentally or physically. Then your body starts to tell you, doesn't it? Your body starts to keep that score, and you're getting headaches, anxiety, muscle aches, joint ache, like always ill, all of those things when your nervous system, your immunity is started to, and it can manifest quite physically if you
Mm.
chronically don't listen to yourself and stay in situations for a long time.
Yeah. Are you playing small all the time? Yeah,
I
you
don't like
feeling like
that saying. I don't
why?
like playing small because I feel it's like, one, it's really overused. We spend a lot of time in the online space and it's like some sort of sideways dig. I don't believe anyone ever is playing small. I don't think it's a conscious thing to play small. I believe it's more safety based.
Yeah. The playing small is because when I use that phrase, I can then start to see how maybe I'm playing this actually I should be here. And for me in my brain, I can visualize that. Actually, I
Visually,
can
yeah.
see where I've kept myself and I've not said what I wanted to say. I've not showed up online. I've not done X or Y. Actually, you're right. I am keeping myself small rather than big
Yeah.
and expansive.
Because I think, like, you might not be fulfilling your potential, but in some of those instances, playing it small still feels really difficult. It still feels
Yeah.
really uncomfortable. That's why I don't like it as much, because particularly from a work perspective, if you say to someone you're playing small, beating them with this playing small stick, but they really feel like they're being pushed, like showing up on
I,
social media every day, or talk like putting themselves forward for promotion, pitching, whatever, it still is well within their capabilities, which is what that is referring to. But for them right now, they feel like they're really pushing up against it.
but this is coming down to somebody else's opinion and allowing somebody else to tell you what you are doing. That's an opinion. They've got no idea what's going on for you personally, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen. If somebody said to me I was playing small, I would be offended and I would be unhappy with somebody telling me that, because I would never tell any of my clients you're playing small, because you do not know what is going on for them. You've got absolutely no idea how it feels. That's a
Yeah, that's
conversation to
why I
be
don't
had.
like it.
But for
But I think,
me, when I think about myself and I'm evaluating myself, I'm more than comfortable with, you are playing smallish, you need to sort yourself out. I visualize it in
yeah,
my mind.
the thing is, the thing that makes this difficult is that your intuition doesn't work like a massive alarm bell over the top of your head with a big flashing neon sign telling you, like, red pill, blue pill, left or right, yes or no. It's quite subtle, um, and it can be a little bit difficult to tap into it and listen to it, can't it?
How many times have you been in the car, right, and you drive in, say you go in to Tesco's, and you always drive to Tesco's the same way. But as you're driving, something says to you, you need to go left here. And your brain's like, nah, I always go this way, so I'm going straight. Your intuition is directing you left for a reason. Our brain is telling us to keep going in this direction. And then all of a sudden you realize there's a crash further up the road, or there's a roadblock, or whatever it might be. And you wish you'd bloody turned left.
Yeah.
But that's your intuition.
Is that like, oh, I knew that was going to happen
Yeah, that's it.
feeling, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But we didn't listen to our intuition. Genuinely, when it comes to our intuition, when I have those thoughts, I believe that's guidance from our higher self. But it depends on what our listeners believe in. It can be a higher self, it can be guardian angel, it can be past loved ones, God, the universe, whatever, your intuition. Um, Whatever you believe in, it is guiding us in the right direction for a reason. But quite often, our brains, as we said before, take over, and there's this fear of judgment, bringing us back into that, like people pleasing.
Yeah.
It just tends to be so much mental noise, doesn't there? That shouts loud when your intuition is quiet.
Yeah. That's it. That doubt is loud and your intuition like whispers. It's like butterflies. It's
Mm.
like that feeling that you can't explain. Um,
Might not make logical sense. Might not make
no.
any sense whatsoever.
And that can be really hard too, can't it? Like when you know and you're at that point of going, right, this is it. I'm making that decision. I can't keep putting it off anymore. I've known for the last however long or whatever that this isn't right. I'm making the change, but you're the only person that can see that it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Then that kind of is really hard to stick to and keep going. And like we've spoke about last time with that, who am I if I'm not who I was, that pull back to the familiar, pull back to comfort, even though that could be quite uncomfortable for you. It's what you know.
And it's being influenced by those people around you as well, isn't it? Because if you've made that decision, you've been brave to use your intuition, I'm taking the guidance, and you've made that decision, and then you've got people around you, why would you want to do that?
I
Why
know.
why why would you make that decision? It's like, say for example, if you wanted to leave your job and you're in a full-time job and you want to go into self-employment. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh no, what happens if you don't gain any clients? How are you going to pay your mortgage? How are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? But something is so loud screaming inside of you. Now, jump now.
I had this in lockdown, and admittedly, in my nan's defence, I am quite like my family will say I wing everything, right? So I've got a big risk appetite. I'm not quite like everybody else, and I will jump in. And it, like on paper, it probably wasn't the best decision. I took on a unit for my PT studio. I did it knowing that I had enough clients to make it work. And once I had that facility, I'd be able to take on even more and it would grow and grow. And she said to me, what are you going to do when it goes wrong? I've been doing this for 2 years out of the boot of my car, working in fields and people's
Fields,
gardens
yeah.
and houses and stuff. It's not going to go wrong because I've already got a business. I'm just taking it inside where if it rains, I still get paid. She was like, what are you going to do
But
when it goes wrong?
it's the financial commitment that you were taking on that obviously worried her. But
Yeah.
quite often, people, they do it out of love.
Oh,
It comes from
100%.
an incredible place, but what they do is they place their fears onto us. So they wouldn't dare do something like that. So out of love, they're trying to convince you not to do it. But actually, when we look at the bigger picture, and again, it's like coming out of the situation, taking the emotion out of it and looking at it as an outsider, make a decision from that place. Why do I want to commit to this premises? Because it's the right thing for
It was
me.
the right thing. It was
Yeah.
100% the right thing. And it was actually a complete, like, genius stroke because once, like, I could work one to one with people, but gyms weren't open and stuff. So people that were stuck at home wanted to be out, and
Yeah.
I made bank.
Yeah. I hired
Um,
a PT in lockdown.
yeah, it was the best thing because then I was able to add therapy and stuff to do to it, and it just kept growing and growing. Um, and then
And
the
had you not have
situation.
listened to your nan, that wouldn't that would never have been the situation.
I know, bless her. She was only looking after me and didn't want anything to go
100%.
wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes, yeah, people say will come from their upper limits, won't they?
Of
And
course.
project
Yeah.
those upper limits on you. But yeah, that one just sticks out.
And don't get me wrong, it is difficult. It is difficult when you want to do something, pursue something, or even if you've just got this incredible belief. Like, I know that within my business, because I still work part time, that I know that I'm going to be able to go full time in my business. The income is going to come in. I'm going to be able to earn exactly what it is that I desire to earn. But people around me don't have the same belief because it's safer to stay in employment. Why would you not want to go and work 9 to 5, 5 days a week? And you know exactly what's coming in every month. Sorry, we know, what's going out. We know what we've got left to spend. Like, why do we want to put that stress onto our lives?
I
And it's
know.
really difficult being around that place of safety for them. But for me, it can kind of feel like negativity because it makes me feel like people don't believe in me. But if you want something so much, then it's not about what other people believe. It's not what other people believe you can or can't achieve. It's what you believe is right for you and what you can do.
Yeah, I had a
But it's hard.
conversation with someone, a friend, a couple of weeks ago, and they've got a fantastic job. It's really, really well paid. They're very, very good at it. And I just said, would you not be better off if you went and did this freelance? To me, it's a no-brainer to
Yeah.
take the jump and the risk.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Mm, but my pension, the security, like I, I, if it doesn't work, I still get paid, and like it's comfortable, and I don't. What if I don't get a contract?" And yeah, I was just like, "What do you mean if you don't get a contract? If you know that you're going to do it, and you create an exit plan, and you're earning like redonkulous at the
Yeah.
minute, so
Yeah.
you just plan that in, and it's for me, it's just, and I know that I hate that word, but I can see it, and I was like, well, you can employ me to make this happen for you if you want, because I can see how it can work. And she's
Yeah.
like, stop. No, I only met you for coffee. For fuck's sake, Sarah, you can't blow my whole life up for me.
The thing is I think when you're earning such a huge wage, I can understand why the fear is so much greater.
If she'd have met the pair of us, it would have been done.
Yeah,
There's no way. She'd be in handing her notice in, sign
100%.
off to the first project
Yeah,
within a
100%.
couple of weeks.
So, how do we tell the difference between conditioning or ego versus the truth? I know we touched on it slightly with how it feels in the body, how potentially the ego's louder, but the intuition is much quieter.
And if we
Now,
could actually put a name on it and like a formula to be able to tell the difference, then we would not be sitting in freezing cold, rainy Bedfordshire recording this podcast. We would have made millions, and we would be coming to you via our sun loungers in the Maldives, because it's different for everyone, isn't it?
It is. It really is. But there are small signals within the body that can tell us which is which.
Once you do work out the way you work and where those signals are coming from and the difference, they are small and easy.
If I hear or feel, oh fuck, what the fuck, with excitement, I know it's for me. I know 100% it is for me. If it comes with, I should, this is a thought process, I should, it would be stupid not to, other people would think, it's safer if it feels tight in my body, like you feel like, it feels heavy.
Oh, yeah. I just had a discovery call with a potential new client. I had that feeling, just like, this isn't quite right. Before, a couple of years ago, I ignored that.
Yeah.
But now, having been in those situations, now when I get that feeling, even if I might need that money, I'm in a position where I can be like, right, no, this little right or wrong thermometer, I'm listening to it, because I know that this is going to come back and bite me in the arse at a later date.
If you have those feelings, it's for a reason. Best to say no, because you work directly with people. Not everybody likes everybody. Not everybody is your cup of tea and vice versa. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not saying there's anything wrong with them. They're not saying
No,
there's anything wrong with you.
it wasn't anything other than just little things that they said that I've thought, it's going to be difficult. And
It'll create a
it's not,
headache.
it's not the way I want to go. I've been there before. But that truth often it is like, I don't know why, but it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, but it feels right.
Yeah.
I feel calmer when I imagine it. Like,
Yeah. And in that scenario, if you think about working with that person and then think about not working with that person, where are you feeling calmer? Where does
yeah,
it actually feel good?
I think this doesn't make sense, but it feels right. Sums up everything you and I do.
I know.
I love that so much. Well, we do now. We
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to other people either. And that's fine. Like when I look at what I do and the limited amount of support and conversations I have around what I do, even the podcast, it may not make sense to other people, and that's absolutely fine because it makes bloody perfect sense to me. And I'm not here to serve absolutely everybody. I'm here to serve those who want to work with me or who want to listen to us. And
Yeah.
that's that. No?
This podcast in particular was never us sitting over breakfast thinking, let's go and have a number one podcast. This podcast was, we know we need to have this conversation. If it just helps one person a week, then that's what
Yeah.
we're here to do.
Yeah.
We do have some, it doesn't make sense, but it feels right goals for this. And the No Shoulds brand. But ultimately, yeah, we just are doing it for one person, and that doesn't have to make sense for everybody else. I think we're both pretty much in a place now where we don't really care if it makes sense for anyone else in the nicest possible way. Get the most amazing messages that genuinely
Yeah,
make
we actually
me
do. Yeah.
feel like my heart just swells and wants to burst.
Yeah.
And
I had a
so
client message me today going, "I fucking love your podcast. I'm on episode 3. I'm binging the rest of it while I do X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "Yeah,
I just,
this is
yeah,
why we
it
make
blows
it."
my mind that, like, while you're doing your food shop on a Sunday, there's someone out there listening to us for
I know.
a good few hours at a time, and people find us, and it blows my mind more that people are watching it on YouTube as well. But I love it. I'm really like, this is a it doesn't make sense but feels right project for us. And we have worked through all of that, like, should we, shan't we? What will people think? What should we do? Blah, blah, blah. But if we could feel and see something that does make sense, now we get to share our crazy, it doesn't make sense but feel right philosophy with all of you too.
Exactly.
So again, like, I feel like we have to drop this disclaimer in all of the time. We're not suggesting that you get divorced, leave your job, put your kids up for adoption, and jump into big life-changing decisions. But yeah, we have definitely got your back for speaking up for yourself a little bit more, leaning into intuition, embodying the version of you were always meant to fucking be.
And also, I just want to say, especially around relationships, for example, and jobs, these are big, big situations. And we're not always in a situation where we can just say, fuck it, I'm just going to leave him. Or fuck it, I'm just going to leave my job. Because we do still have mortgage or rent. Or if you do leave him, where the hell are you going to live? You know? So I get all of that. And in the day and age that we're in right now, who can really afford to just leave and then find somewhere else to live and everything be all financially dandy? It's not. It has to be a much longer process than that. But what we're saying here is that even if those little nudges towards I don't want to be here anymore, in whatever capacity that may be in, okay, you're acknowledging it. That's
Mm.
fine. We're not saying blow your fucking life up and leave there and then. What we're saying is acknowledge those nudges, acknowledge those thoughts, and then from there you start to map everything else out.
Yeah. Like, where are you now? Where do you want to be? What's the gap? What
Yeah,
in that gap are you in control of?
yeah.
Where can you stay, no, where in, or yes, whatever side of the coin you're on there? Where can you um, align yourself with things that make you more yourself? You know, can you go out more? Can you go to that exercise class? Can you think, fuck it, I'm going to have a little bit of money for me each month, regardless of the fallout, and get my nails done, or whatever is in that gap? What can you do safely?
And get excited. Get
Yeah.
excited about what your life can and will look like.
Yeah.
You might be here and then you might be walking towards that gap, but get excited because, like you say, Sarah, what can I control? I can control how I feel. I can control the small things that I can change or adapt or amend to to help me step towards the place I want to be. And when you get that excitement and when you genuinely feel like you are walking in the right direction, it feels grounded. It feels like it's just meant to be. It's weird. It's almost like I can't
It's quite
explain it. I don't
empowering.
know why I feel like it, but I just do. And it is empowering. It's expansive. It expands your energy.
Mm.
And remember, everything, if you're into manifestation, you know, everything that we manifest in is all about energy. Everything we manifest in situations, people, finances, jobs, opportunities, whatever it is all based on our energy. So if the shit's coming in, we need to take some responsibility. And I mean that with the biggest heart. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying that by any means, but we attract who we are and who we are being. So when we finally move towards our intuition and those nudges and we start moving and listening into the direction we're meant to be in, our energy expands. we start to manifest in or bring in those opportunities, new friends, a new partner, maybe, or a job, opportunities, whatever it might be, because we're not keeping ourselves small. We're not keeping ourselves stuck in the same place from fear. And because our brain is telling us that doesn't make sense, we're just going to stay here. And all of a sudden, our lives start to feel more steady. We start to feel a little bit more happy. Um, Things feel less dramatic. Things just start to feel easy.
Yeah, and the successes start to compound then as well, don't they? That
Yeah,
gap gets smaller. You feel in more control. And like you say, you call in things quicker because rather than looking at it and thinking, right, I want to get from A to B, fuck me, B's a long, long way away. I can't do anything about it. Poor me, I'm stuck here, and just putting it, when you focus on that gap and look at what you can change, like you say, reset your energy, you start to control what you can control, bring joy in to where you are, find that frequency now, and suddenly the steps forward come to light a lot quicker and you
yeah.
feel more empowered and it is easier to get from A to B then.
So when you're in these situations, instead of asking, what should I do? Try asking yourself, if I trusted myself, what would I choose?
That's my favorite
Biggie.
one.
Yeah, big one. What would I choose? Or if it feels easier, how about if my friend came to me and asked me what sh- what do I believe is right for them? What should they do? Make a decision from that place.
Yeah. I do a
Because
little play on that. So I do what would she do? As in whatever it is whether it's my business, my life, friendship, whatever, the version of me that is already in the place I want to be, how would she be acting? What would she be saying? Who would she be turning to? What advice would what would she do? Like, she would just make the decision, Sarah. She
mm,
knows. She
she
trusts that
trusts herself.
intuition. She
Yeah.
doesn't need to be asking four different people for the answer to do the thing that you know right to do. She makes those decisions quickly. She stands on her shit and gets it done. Um, it's
And at the
it's
end,
it's empowering, but also it kind of takes it away from you. You are making that decision, but it feels like you are asking for guidance at the same time. And
yeah,
you are, but you're asking yourself, not giving it away to somebody else.
yeah. You're not giving away that power. You're
Yeah.
still making that internal decision. Yeah. So is it time for you to bring home your authority, to bring it back to yourself? Because the more you ask what you should do, the further you move from who you are. Because somebody else cannot make the best decision for you. Only you truly, truly know.
You don't need better advice. You don't need any more opinions. You need to come home to who you are
Yeah.
and your own authority.
So if this stirred something within you, this is where the shift starts.
Self trust isn't built in monumental decisions, it's built in small little promises to
Yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
listening and being guided from there with the really small stuff. And then it will grow.
And I just want to remind you that when you ask somebody else, everything anybody else says to you, including what you say to others, is nothing more than opinion. And opinions aren't fact. They're not. So if you decide something is right for you, but somebody else doesn't believe that, it doesn't make you wrong and them right. You just have to follow what is right for you and what feels good for you. No more shoulds, just truth. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we shall see you again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.